Well, two birds, two bats, and of course, crazy people. I was trying to get a moment of silence so I could do a small introduction to this video. So I'm using every tool available. However, it doesn't seem to be working real well. Anyway, we're going to be chatting today with one of our old friends here on the channel, Mr. Goldfinger. I have absolutely no clue what it is he wants to talk about. He sent me a message yesterday and said, we need to do a video.
Why is my head bagged if you're going to give him my name?
Let's just go on with the video.
Go on.
Okay, because I've tried, I tried to get 1 minute of silence. It didn't freaking work.
Never going to happen.
All right, so I'm just going to shut up and Goldfinger, you just please take over from there.
Hello, everybody.
Wait, it's at 47 seconds. You lasted about 28.
Sound like my mother. So,
how long have we been married?
a long time. Sound like your ex-wife.
You got the peanut gallery over here chiming in. Jesus. All right, so what's your story, Goldfinger?
So I think the first thing I wanted to talk about was medical. I had Pacific Cross insurance for 1 year, and it's coming up due in a month. The 1 year will be due in a month, and the premium renewal is coming up. And what they originally had offered by Michael Onstead, super nice guy. I like the Pacific Cross policy, but it did have exclusions for the first year with minimal coverage for 4 things. And I have to look at my notes, guys. So the medical exclusion was diabetes. How the hell do you say that? Dyslipidemia?
Okay.
I don't know what it is.
It's not, this wasn't my idea.
Hypertension and CPAP for sleep apnea. And those exclusions had limited coverage for the first year, but I was promised that they'd only be for the first year.
Okay.
I had no claims for a whole year now. Never went to the hospital, never got sick. Well, I wouldn't say I never got sick, but I never went to the hospital for being sick.
So you didn't have a claim on any of those?
I didn't have any claim.
Okay.
And the premium came due, and the premium went up because they said of my age, which I understood. The first year cost with no deductible was $2,600, payable 13 and 1300 every 6 months.
So this is good because guys ask me about why do I self-insure.
It's just the information.
There's the information right there, 2,600 scoots.
And then they went up to, from 2,600, they went up to 2,900.
And that's still excluding those 4 things?
Well, that was the problem. I expected them to be included.
Okay.
But they, instead of saying they were temporarily excluded, they said now they're permanently excluded.
Oh, so you went the year, you paid the premium, and those were like on hold for the first year. In your mind, would be in my mind also.
They said temporarily excluded for the first year with minimal. They had a minimal coverage on it.
Okay.
But not full coverage.
And then the year showed up, and then they said now you're permanently off.
Right.
Okay.
Now I've lost weight. I swim every day. I got this thing. I must swim every day. Rain, shine, dark, light, whatever. I do laps. Yesterday I did 50 laps in a pool. That's 30 meters long. So it's quite exhausting. And I do yoga. So I've lost weight. I just
got a mental picture of that.
So anyway, now I lost my train of thought. So,
you lost your train of thought. I've just gone to a very dark place when you said you do yoga.
Okay, shut up. So anyway, what the hell was I? I don't know. So anyway, so I no longer am diabetic. Okay. Now I was very diabetic for years.
Okay.
But about 7 months ago, I take glipizide. I no longer had to take it because my blood sugar was going too low.
Okay.
And I haven't for months. Okay.
He's been healed.
Yeah. The Philippines has healed me. Well, you eat really good here. You eat vegetables. You eat turmeric. You eat garlic. My fiance, Carolyn, she cooks vegetables at every meal, and she even makes salads for me. And she knows I prefer to have chicken, not fried. I don't like fried food, so she'll roast it, bake it, whatever.
Are we eventually going to roll back around to what we were talking about?
We're never
or do we really need to have the dinner menu included in this video?
Shut up. So,
sorry.
Anyway, so I'm no longer diabetic. And I said,
sit back and relax.
I don't mind paying a little bit of money, but why are they making the temporary exclusions permanent? That doesn't seem right. That wasn't what the agreement was. So they said, okay, well, Pacific Care came back and said, okay, well, we want you to take a slew of tests. Now, the tests were rather involved. The tests were blood work, urine work, echocardiogram, which checks your heart, and also a stress test on a treadmill.
This is my version of a stress test right here.
Yeah, and I understand, but they didn't ask for any tests when they signed me up. I was honest with them when I told them I was diabetic when I first signed up. I mean, and everything. So, and I've had no history of anything medical, no history of any problems with the heart or anything else.
Okay.
So I go through the tests. Now, the first thing which was interesting was, I thought the tests were going to be a lot of money.
All right.
It sounded like big money because I'm from the U.S. So
right.
I'm thinking, I'm not going to pay all this money. So I told Michael, hey, I'm not going to pay for these tests. Just let the policy lapse. Michael was very cool about it. He came back to me and he goes, I'll pay for the tests.
Okay.
Which was quite unusual for, an agent to pay for the tests for a client, but he's a really, I think he's a really cool guy.
Okay.
So he said, I'll pay for it. Just go get the tests. And I had nothing to lose. I got all the tests. And everything came back fair. I'm not going to say it's great, but it was fair, okay? And they showed no diabetes for several months. They do some kind of a test they could check for several months back. And that's all I really wanted. And so we submitted, and I'm going to find out. I'm waiting we'll have to have a follow-up, but I'm finding out what Pacific Care is going to do because I submitted just last week all the test results. And I just wanted to kind of let people know all those tests ended up being 9,300 pesos. Now, 9,300 pesos is $170 US. So, and it was a lot of tests. I got to tell you, I have multi. I mean, they really did a full blood workup, it was a couple hours on the treadmill. They check you before, they check you after, they check you during. It was quite involved. I know you went through tests in Thailand.
I did it in Thailand, yeah.
And so it was quite a bit of tests. And I was kind of shocked there was only $170.
So the bottom line on this story is you can go in and get all these tests done here.
And you should.
And you should.
Yeah.
But it's so cheap. It's less than $200.
Now, I don't know how much.
I don't know what that cost in America.
Well, I know just the stress test would be over $1,000. I'm sure of it.
I will believe it.
Okay, so and the cardiogram might be the same amount.
Mm-hmm.
The echogram they use might be the same
and
amount.
Did you feel confident in the equipment that they were using, the technicians? Did they seem to know what they were doing?
Honestly, Thailand's got better medical.
Yes, it's true.
I will definitely say Thailand has better medical, and their prices are really good in Thailand.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're ever going to have like open heart surgery or something like that schedule it in Thailand.
Mm-hmm.
And the one thing good about Pacific Cross is it'll actually cover me going to Thailand to get a surgery done, like something like that if I needed it.
Okay.
They'll cover the airfare and the whole thing. No.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And that was one of the things that sold me because I really liked Bangkok hospitals. It was quite impressive. They have up-to-date equipment and the prices were very cheap. And I had gone to a hospital for an ankle injury and with MRIs, X-rays, saw doctors twice and medication, it was $205 US. It was ridiculously cheap. I thought, oh my God, I'll never be able to pay this. And it was very affordable.
Cool deals.
So I prefer
So you're just waiting now on the results of the test, and so we don't know right now where you stand.
I don't know, but I was thinking about self-insuring.
Okay.
Now, I talked to a few guys about it, expats at Ground Zero, friends, and they said, hey, if you really had a problem, we'd loan you the money. Because I said, they go, why do you want insurance? I said, well, I can't afford 200, 300,000 pesos. And someone else I just spoke to said that it was $10,000 for a bypass or stents. $10,000 US is honestly, I live pretty much month to month. I really don't save any money. I'm not a saver, so I wouldn't have it. But the other expats, and I call them real expats because you coined the term real. And I like real expats come together and help people.
Help one another.
They help one another, and they also don't come here just to abuse this country. They help this country in one way or another. They donate their time and they donate money.
But can I butt in for 1 second?
No.
No. Can I butt in for 1 second?
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
I'll try.
$2,600 a month. I'm thinking if you set that money aside every month and didn't touch it, you're self-insuring. Now, there's a lot of ifs. I mean, what if 1 week into that program, you don't have insurance and then you have the proverbial heart attack?
Right.
there's the dice roll.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? However, if you just got checked out and everything comes back copacetic, which is what I did before I left America, and then I just did it 2 years ago or so again in Thailand, and I didn't have any issues, and therefore I do set aside money every month for that very purpose. 2,600 is not the number, but
Are you talking about pesos or dollars?
Dollars.
I can't put aside 2,600.
A year?
Oh, a year.
That's
okay.
the premium on your deal. You go
Yeah,
over
that's-
5 years, you're going to have over $10,000, and therefore, anyway, in the comments, let us know, because I don't want to get into a fight with my wife over here.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Well, no, I could put away 75,000 pesos. I mean, the first premium payment next month would be 1,500. That's 82,000 pesos. I could put away at least 50,000 a month, and
That's
50,000.
$1,000.
That's 600,000 in a year, and that's quite a bit of money.
Yep.
Basically, I'd reach it in a year and a half. I'd reach 1,000,000 pesos. That was my mind goal. But I still want to see what the premium or what they say. Maybe they'll drop everything, and if they drop everything, I still pay for the insurance and put money away.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
But that's my thinking. So those who want to know, what does it cost for insurance? This is for anybody 65 and older. That's what the premium is. Like I said, it was 2,600 for the first year, payable every 6 months, 1,300. Now you can save 25% if you have a $1,000 deductible.
What's your deductible?
0.
Okay.
And of course, obviously, it costs more with 0 deductible. But I didn't want to be surprised with a $1,000 bill.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, that's good information for the guys. Because guys ask me all the time, how much is insurance, what covers, what age, and I don't have an answer for them because I self-insure. I put away money every month, unlike my undisciplined friend over here.
No, I've never been a
next on your
saver.
agenda?
I've never been a saver my whole life. So I said to my fiance, Carolyn, I said, I'll give you the money. You put it in a separate account. She has another account at BPI. And I says, and you're not to give it to me unless it's an emergency. Mm-hmm. And I trust her.
Okay.
Okay. And so if I give it to her, she won't give it. If I put it in a savings account and it's in my name, I'll use it.
You'll get it.
I'll use it. I'll see something I want and I'll use it. I know me. I'll use it. So
that's half the battle. If you know yourself, it's like
I
an
know.
addiction or something. If you're aware of it, that's 90% of the battle. So have you come to a conclusion as to what you're going to do?
Well, I'm waiting for the premium.
And if they come back and they're all cool and you're
If
totally
they include
covered,
everything,
are you going to buy it?
Yeah, if they include everything and the premium's about the same, $3,000 a year, I probably would buy it, but I still got to put money away on the basis that sometime in the future, hopefully in a year or two, I'll have 1,000,000 pesos and then I don't have to pay for insurance.
And 1,000,000 pesos is approximately $20,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that'd be enough to cover most anything.
Push on this channel and all the others that are out there that are talking about guys coming out here is to come out here with a safety net of money.
And that insurance covers you all over the world, except for the USA and Canada and Guam, things like that. But it's good because it's travel insurance.
Got it.
It's, so if you want to take vacations to go to Vietnam or whatever, Cambodia, you're still covered.
Okay.
Yeah, it's good insurance. It's just, and Michael was awesome that he fronted it, And if I don't, I'll be honest, I'm going to put it right here. If I don't get the insurance from Pacific Cross, I'll reimburse Michael for the $9,300 that he put out. It wouldn't be fair to have him go through all this tests and then I make a decision not to use it. I would reimburse him.
Okay.
It's not that much. 93 is.
Now you got a picker-upper over there.
I do. So the next subject we were going to talk about, the next thing is trash grabbers. So I don't know if you can see.
It's like a variety show.
Trash grabbers. So I bought 100 of these. Okay.
Is this how you met your girlfriend?
Yeah. This is how I pick up girls. This is how I walk around like it's a cane. I walk around like it's a cane, but at the really
it's a grab-asser.
It's a grabber.
Hey, for 1995.
It's a grabber.
For the first 100 people that call, you too can have a grab-asser.
I bought 100 of them. I'm going to pass them out to all the expats, especially when they come off the boat. We're going to write right on it, Filipina grabber. It's a
what the hell is this thing for?
So Justin Carmack here. I give Critter Republic.
Oh, look at there, Critter Republic.
Justin Carmack does. He's a real expat, and he he does clean up on the beaches, Bakong, Darwin, and he had mentioned in one of his videos, I help him. In fact, both of us have been there to help clean up. But we're all old guys, and bending over 100 times is not really great for our backs. Okay,
No.
It's kind of tough, and you're on, especially in the sand
And the sun.
And he had mentioned that he wished that somebody could donate grabbers, trash picker uppers. So I went ahead and got 100 of them.
Okay.
And ordered them, and I have to admit I used some of the money I got for the helmets.
Because you did, we got to back up a little bit. There's
Yes, we
people
do.
that don't know what
I
you're talking
understand.
about that are
So I
new
do heads.
subscribers.
I do helmets for heads.
Okay.
Helmets for heads is a program I started a year ago, a little over, that puts helmets on kids that ride as passengers on bikes, children. And I buy smaller helmets from China, and I have to buy them by the 100 lot or 500 lot.
And last time you gave away 1,500.
Yeah,
I
well,
was
I've
there.
given away over 2,000 helmets.
But I'm just saying the last
Yeah,
event was
yeah.
1,500.
Yeah.
And it went fairly well. It was at an elementary
was,
school.
and I had
it was organized. You had all kinds of guys helping
50 guys helping me. It really went,
Brutal.
and it was, and we covered a whole school. But
Yep.
the thing is, the schools here are more than 500 kids. They're usually over 1,000 in every school. And the price of the helmets now have almost doubled in both shipping costs and in production costs.
And can I jump in? We
Yeah.
don't see the helmets on the kids anywhere.
No.
I don't.
I have.
So we don't know what's going on. You don't know. I
Here's
should
the
say
problem.
I. You
Okay.
don't know what's going on
So
with those friggin' helmets once we give them to them.
We used to decorate them.
Yep.
With
Put their
kids,
name on it.
and we put their name on it, and I gave a paper to the teachers to go over the reasons for wearing it, the safety and everything else in class, because they're at school, so they could teach the safety. The problem is you can't change what's already set by the parents. The parents they just don't use the helmets, the kids, and they're not asked to use the helmets, and they don't think about it. They're riding motorcycles barefoot, the kids. Even the adults don't wear helmets.
I know.
So it's
Flip-flops,
it's
shorts,
kind of
no
a tough,
shirt,
It's been a
kids.
tough thing. Now I've only been able to raise since the last event, which I think was November or December. Do you remember? I think it was November.
I can't remember.
It was November. And in the last event, I've only been able to raise 37,000 pesos.
Okay.
And the problem is I need 300,000.
Right.
I've gone to some of the big contributors, and they ghosted me.
Okay.
I mean, they're nice, but they're probably sick of it, and they probably go, "Hey,
Yeah, and that's
show me
enough.
that the kids are wearing it." And
Right.
I've seen a couple helmets,
All right.
but I've given out thousands, and to see a couple isn't cutting it. Now the
No, I
problem,
get it.
even child's helmets will fit Filipinas,
Yeah.
or they don't wear it.
So you're going to shine it on.
I'm gonna have
And you're
to.
going to go with the grabbers.
Well, I went with the grabbers, and
And that's for beach cleanup.
beach cleanup.
Okay.
Okay, and I've donated in the past, so this is my donation to Justin Carmack. But there's another problem because I can't get the helmets. That was another problem I have because Philippines is having problems with China.
Right.
Okay, and now customs are blocking or charging fees or holding it up at customs, and getting products from China into the Philippines is getting more difficult.
I understand.
So my supplier said, I don't know if I can get you the helmet you want because they're not supplying us with products from China anymore. They're holding it up in customs.
Now, do you have the same problem with the ass grabber?
No, I didn't. Ass grabbers are allowed for whatever. But I can't buy at a smaller school, okay? I can't get the product. The cost is nearly double. They used to cost me, shipping and everything, 300 pesos a piece. Now they're 475 to get them here, to get them to my, if I could get them.
Okay.
And I really feel bad because people have donated, but I can't get enough donations and I can't get the product.
So you're using the donated money now to
For
do
other
this.
things.
And that's
there's
pretty much the announcement.
There's another project which I'm going to finance because I have money left over because it was 17,000 for the ass grabbers. Okay,
Okay.
grabber picker uppers. It was 17. So I still have another 20,000.
Okay.
So Carolyn and a neighbor, Carolyn's my girlfriend, fiance, and a neighbor Anna started cooking in the laundry shop. If they look at the very first video, that was the laundry shop outside
That
my
sounds
apartment.
enticing.
outside. They're cooking.
Cooking
They're
in
cooking.
a laundry shop.
No, they're cooking outside.
Boy, you haven't had a meal till you've had
Well,
one that's been...
and Carolyn's a good cook, and she enjoys cooking. She really does enjoy it. Obviously, I can't say. I got to be careful about what I say because she might watch this video. It isn't so much that we need the money; it's that she likes cooking because they sell these.
Who doesn't like a nice hot plate of food that just came off a washing machine?
No, they have a little cooker out there.
Next to some
Everything's
dirty
fried.
socks and underwear.
It's out in the open. They don't have health
Well,
permits
you got
here.
the dirty socks, you got the underwear, you got the frying pan. Fabulous.
But they have cold drinks. They sell soda pop and little bottle soda pop.
So your fiance's got a little side
Yeah,
action.
Carolyn cooks in our kitchen, and Anna sells in front of the laundry shop. Okay, and they've been doing this for several months. Well, I sat out there to see how it's going because I financed it. They came to me. They said they needed 10,000 pesos to start. Okay, well, and we need to borrow it. And immediately my head is like, nobody in the Philippines borrows.
Yeah, we were just talking about donations.
Nobody borrows and pays back. So I gave them 10,000 to start because that's what she wanted. Okay, fine.
Seed money.
They got the tables, they got the fryer, they got the food, they got the chiller, they got the coolers, they got the blue ice.
Yeah.
They're set up. We even got some lights, electric lights that hang up.
Okay.
Light it up at nighttime.
Are we profitable?
No. They make money, but nothing that I can live on.
They actually clear a profit?
They do clear a profit.
I mean, they're not losing money.
Well, the first few weeks, okay, I went in there because I'm a businessman. So I went in there and I go, okay, how much does this block of cheese cost?
They didn't know.
And how much did, they knew how much it cost. And how much do these, like really thin tortillas, like crepes they buy, they call them lumpia shells, whatever they are. They come by 50 or 100.
Roll it up,
and they roll them up. And they're selling cheese sticks. Well, they're selling cheese sticks for four pesos a piece.
Do they know how much it costs to make it?
They didn't put it together.
See, that's the thing.
So I put it together, and when you got all done, you can make 100 of them, but it costs like 350 pesos for the product. And you can make 100 of them, and they're selling them for 4 pesos. So when you get all done, it's taking them 2 hours to make it, and they have to go to the market to buy the cheese and the lumpia shells.
Yep.
And then by the time they fry it, and you add oil and the gas, they're not making any money.
It's a push at best.
I don't even think
best.
so. Yeah. So I said, you can't sell these for 4. Okay, you're not making any money. So I kind of took over and started looking at the cost of products and started breaking it down for them. And now they're making money.
Okay.
Because now they'll sell 3 for 10. Well, actually, they sell, 2 for 10. 2 for 10. So they're getting,
now they're getting a nickel.
They're getting 100 pesos for 100 of them. They're making 150 pesos, which is in American dollars. What is that? $3?
$3.
$3. Are they getting rich? No, but they're enjoying themselves.
That's the bottom line.
So we got off subject. So I'm sitting out there, and there's little kids that come.
What was the subject?
The subject was the little kids are coming. Yeah, really. The little kids are coming, and they're asking for food. And these are kids that are.
You want to know what a typical day in my life is? Right here.
These little children, and I'm talking 7-year-olds, 8-year-olds, 5-year-olds, and they're like, do you have any food? They're hungry.
Oh.
And they're coming with food, and I said, and I'm sitting there, and I says, just give them some food. I'll pay for it, okay? Because they're turning them away. Because they're trying to make a business out of it.
Right.
And I said, no, just give the kids some food and I'll pay for it. It's okay. I mean, it's 20, 25 pesos for a full plate of food. It's not, what is that? 40 cents, 50 cents for a full plate of food. So I realized, I said, how many kids, because every time I sit out there, there's kids coming over and these are shoeless, they're in torn clothes, and they're skinny. And when I talked to a couple people at the laundry shop and a few of the people at work, they know a lot of kids that are starving. Mm-hmm. I said, you know what? I could do more good providing food for the children than I can helmets because they're not going to wear the helmets.
I agree. The helmets are going to get sold. They're going to get thrown away. They're going to get lost.
Or they're not going to get used.
Or they're not going to get used.
Exactly.
So your heart's in the right place.
So I said, you know what? I'm going to I said, I need you to make a list of the children in the neighborhood. I says, we're going to have to, you have to qualify the kids. I want them on a list. So far they have 24 kids. And I says, I put a limit. I says, I'll spend up to, or donate to the project, up to 2,000 pesos a week.
Okay. It's 40 bucks,
Yeah,
35 bucks.
a week. So that's where some of the money is going to be going.
Okay.
And if we run out of money, I'll just continue to do that. But that's okay. I can afford that out of pocket. But I think that's a better project, feeding the children, because, overall, I'm worried about the safety on a motorbike. But if they're not going to wear the helmets, it's not going to matter.
And you don't need any more of these things.
I don't need any more. That's done. I got 100 grabbers, and that's done. And I'm going to deliver them over to Justin Carmack's dive shop for the next event, which is probably next month.
It's a Critter Republic, so
Yeah.
you can check him out.
Gave you a plug, dude.
And Justin does a lot for the community.
He does. He did
does
Christmas
beach
events.
cleanups. He does free. He sponsors kids over at his dive shop so they can learn to become teachers for divers.
Yes, he does.
There's a lot of great guys over here doing a lot of things. And Goldfinger, in his own silly way, does a lot of good things also.
Yeah.
And so now you're feeding the kids.
I'm going to feed the kids.
Okay.
So I just want to let the viewers know that have donated that your money, I didn't pocket any money. I don't want you to think I did.
No,
I kept track of
no.
the money that came in, and I'm keeping track of the money that goes out. I usually kick in money for the helmets. I always kicked in about 25,000 pesos a month. But if they're not going to wear them, and we tried it.
Yep.
We gave it a try.
What, 2 or 3 times, right?
Yep, 3 times, 3 events, over 2,000 helmets. I'm not going to say I'm going to give up on it, but I'm going to put it off on the burner right
Okay.
now. I'm just going to take it off the burner and do things that are more direct.
All right. And the feed the kids is going to be out in front of the laundry shop.
Out in front of the laundry
Where
shop.
Carolyn is doing the
She's doing the cooking, and Anna's doing the
And Anna's doing the selling.
selling, and if they have to fry it.
And how many
Now,
kids are you going to sponsor through this thing?
Well, that's what I have to see. So I'm going to have to figure that out. But I said 2,000 pesos a week.
Okay.
So it's about 20. I don't know if we're feeding them lunch and dinner or just one meal a day. They're not getting a meal a day right now.
Yeah.
So one meal a day would be more than what they're getting.
Okay.
They're really skinny, and they're not getting food. And it's like, in the U.S. they give, people can apply if they have low income to get food at the cafeteria, even breakfast sometimes.
School lunches.
School
and all
lunches
that.
in
Yeah.
the U.S. And they don't do that here.
No, that's the
They
thing.
go hungry.
There's just no safety nets out here for the locals.
No, there isn't.
And, in America, I know there's food pantries, there's homeless shelters, there's food stamps, there's WIC, there's milk, there's this, there's that.
Right.
And not that it's so great to be homeless or on a minimal budget in America, but you're not going to starve to death. But out here, they're poor nutrition. The food that you're feeding them isn't the greatest, talking about diabetes, but it's something on their stomach.
Yeah.
It's affordable.
Right.
It's something that, you can at least say, okay, that kid's not going to bed hungry tonight.
And I'm the
so
guy
that's a good thing.
I'm the guy that rolls the lumpia and the cheese sticks. I
All
like
right.
doing it. It takes about 2 hours to do, hour and a half to do 100 of them. I'm really fast at it, and I kind of get a kick out of it.
It's interesting to watch how we all change once we get here.
Yeah.
Because him and I were very similar in our first arrival, is that we wanted to go out and explore and see things,
Yeah.
and ride the motorbike,
Yeah.
and do all this.
Chase girls.
Chase women, do all this kind of stuff. And then you kind of get that out of the proverbial system.
No, yeah,
and
it's
now
old.
you're with a lady, and I'm married, old married, boring guy. And you kind of get into, just without thinking about it, your routine changes.
Yeah.
And you slow down, and you start to get into a rhythm. And going out every night goes into going out once a week, or going to lunch every day goes back to once a week, or whatever the dynamic might be. And so then you start to look about your priorities, and you have always have, this servant's heart of how can you give back to the Philippines.
Right.
Because righteously, you feel like the Philippines is giving you so much.
Right.
It shows in your test results that we talked about.
Yeah,
in
I'm
the
very
beginning.
happy. I'm very
lower
happy
blood
living here.
pressure, lower blood sugar.
Oh, it's-
your health is better. You're losing
Less
weight.
stress.
Less stress.
Blood pressure dropped. My blood
And,
pressure dropped quite a bit.
And so, kudos on you, Goldfinger.
So if you guys,
Closing thoughts?
yeah, I just
Didn't you have an ebook that you're putting together?
I'm thinking about putting an ebook for the guys that want to come over. I'm getting a lot of people asking questions, similar questions, and rather than dealing with it individually, if I put an ebook together, I can send them everything, which covers everything: visas, money exchange, what you need to bring, medical insurance, things like that. So I'm going to put a book together that gives them all the basic information, what they need to come over. And also, what I'd like, there's no charge for the book. I'll just send it to them. But and if they want to contact me, they can. And I'll talk to them one-on-one. There's no give them personal. They might have in particular certain medicine they need to know, or certain handicaps that they want to know on an individual basis. It comes up.
How can I help you help them?
I
Put
need
a link to your
donations.
Yeah, but how do I do that? You have a link to your Facebook or something?
Just give them a link to my Facebook.
Okay.
And I'll take care of it from there.
And that way, they can choose to donate if they so want to.
If they want.
But you'll send them an ebook no matter what.
No matter what.
Once it's put together.
Yeah, I don't.
But it's not put together yet.
No, I'm working on it.
Okay. So what's the timeline on that?
I should have it done within a month.
Okay. So within a month, if you guys want to reach out to Goldfinger on his Facebook, get yourself on the list.
It's about half done.
What he's going to do is him and I get a lot of inquiries. How do I do this? How do I do that? And not that we're complaining, but we are complaining. It gets laborious at times.
Yeah.
It's answering the same question over and over and over again. And where it would be much simpler, he came up with the idea just to give the most often asked questions.
Right.
How do I this? How do I get a driver's license? How do I open a bank account? How do I transfer money?
Right.
What about my visa? How long can I stay in the Philippines?
Covers it all.
All that stuff that's actually already been covered a zillion times on YouTube, but you might have missed the video, and you're just now tuning in.
And the other thing is you have to update it.
Correct.
And I have time to update it, because there are some stuff out there, but it's a year
Changes.
old. And visas change, information changes.
Yep. Everything changes over time.
So I
the rules,
can
the
easily
regulations.
update. On the computer, I can easily update changes.
And be cognizant of that. Is that what you hear about today may not be true in 6 months or 1 week or tomorrow, for that matter.
Right.
I mean, they said they were going to open up the Philippines on February 8th, and they ended up opening it on February 10th. And there were guys that contacted me, and they said, man, I blew $2,000 on a ticket, and it was no good because I bought it on the 8th. And on the 10th, they shut it. On the 9th, they shut it down.
Right.
Which was just enough to screw them on their ticket.
Right.
And then on the 10th, they opened it back up. So the reason I tell that story is take everything with a grain of salt and double check, believe but verify, because he's not trying to give you misinformation, but the information does have a way of changing.
Yeah, visa especially changes here.
Especially.
Yeah. Visas change, and literally every month sometimes it changes. It's crazy.
All
a
right.
lot of misinformation.
So,
I'll get it right.
We'll do a follow-up video on all this kind of stuff in about a month.
Yeah.
And we'll bring the kids up to speed on your insurance information.
And feeding the kids.
The beach cleanup, maybe that's not really something to follow up on.
Everybody does beach cleanup. They do videos.
Okay. I don't videotape those because there's always 9 guys out there with a camera anyway.
Yeah.
So we'll follow up with the little feeding program and how that's going.
Yeah, feed the kids.
And go from there. Any other parting words for the YouTube community?
No, I really love being here. It's really great. You should come over. Joe Spaghetti isn't overrun, and a lot of people complain. I don't want to say the B word, but they be and complain that there's too many expats. But I don't think so. I mean, there's a lot more Filipinos than are expats. I don't think it's overrun. And there's real expats, and then we have expats that are not so real.
Get it? Well, that's the same in any community. Anybody watching right now is sitting in their house. They've got good guys and they've got some not so good guys in their neighborhood.
They're not that they're bad guys. They just don't get involved.
I got it.
Yeah, they just want to keep to themselves, which is fine. They don't want to get involved.
Or some of them should keep to themselves. We'll leave you with that little nugget. All right? Because if I leave him alone, we'll be talking for another hour. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Say bye-bye.
Bye-bye.